What happens when a single complaint spirals into a public showdown that no one saw coming? In the heart of a cozy, sunlit sandwich shop called Bread and Butter, the lunch rush was in full swing. The aroma of fresh-baked sourdough and sizzling bacon filled the air, and a line of customers snaked out the door. Among them stood Karen, a sharply dressed woman in her late 40s, her arms crossed and her foot tapping impatiently. Her designer sunglasses perched atop her head. She radiated an air of entitlement that made the baristas exchange wary glances. Karen had ordered her usual, a turkey avocado club with extra mayo, no tomatoes, and a side of attitude. But today, something was different. When her sandwich arrived, she took one bite, grimaced, and slammed it down on the counter. "This tastes off," she barked, her voice cutting through the hum of the busy shop. "The bread's stale, the turkey's rancid, and don't even get me started on this pathetic excuse for mayo." The young cashier, Mia, barely 19 and new to the job, froze. Customers turned to stare. Karen's complaint wasn't just loud, it was a performance, a one-woman show designed to humiliate. Mia stammered an apology, offering to remake the sandwich, but Karen wasn't having it. "I want the manager. Now." Enter Javier, the shop's manager, a calm, wiry man in his 30s with a knack for diffusing tension. He approached with a smile, offering a refund or a fresh sandwich. Karen scoffed, her voice rising. "A refund? Do you think I'm here for your pity pennies? I want a proper sandwich, and I want it free." Javier nodded, signaling Mia to start a new order, but Karen wasn't done. She pulled out her phone, started recording, and declared she'd post this disaster online, tagging the shop in a scathing review. The crowd murmured, some rolling their eyes, others pulling out their own phones to capture the drama. As Mia rushed to remake the sandwich, a twist emerged from the back of the shop. Out stepped Rosa, the head chef, a no-nonsense woman in her 60s who'd been crafting sandwiches for decades. Rosa wasn't on the schedule that day. She'd come in to drop off a new recipe, but Karen's tirade had drawn her from the kitchen. Wiping flour off her hands, Rosa fixed Karen with a steely gaze. "Ma'am," she said, her voice low but commanding, "I made your sandwich myself this morning. That turkey was fresh, the bread baked an hour ago. Maybe the problem isn't the sandwich." The room went silent. Karen's face flushed red. She wasn't used to being challenged, especially not by someone she clearly underestimated. "Excuse me," she snapped. "Are you calling me a liar?" Rosa didn't flinch. "I'm saying taste is subjective, but facts aren't. You want a new sandwich? Fine, but don't trash my work or these kids for clout." The crowd erupted in whispers. A few customers clapped. Karen, caught off guard, doubled down. "This is outrageous. I'm a paying customer," she shouted, snatching the new sandwich from Mia's hands and tearing it apart, lettuce and mayo splattering across the counter. "This is worse. It's dry as cardboard." The confrontation reached its peak as Karen, now standing on a chair, hurled the sandwich to the floor. Sauce smeared the tiles, and a tomato, sliced despite her "no tomatoes" demand, skidded under a table. The crowd gasped. Javier stepped forward, his calm demeanor cracking. "Ma'am, you need to leave. Now." But Karen wasn't done. She demanded to speak to the owner, threatening lawsuits and bad press. That's when the second twist hit. A soft-spoken man in a baseball cap, who'd been quietly eating a pastrami on rye in the corner, stood up. "I'm the owner," he said. His name was Tom, and he'd been watching the entire scene unfold. Tom's presence shifted the room's energy. He wasn't loud or imposing, but his quiet authority was undeniable. "Karen," he said, having overheard her name from her own rant, "I've seen the footage. You ordered no tomatoes, but you didn't mention the mayo was low-fat. That's what you tasted. We can make it right, but this," he gestured to the mess on the floor, "this is on you." Karen's jaw dropped. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, some stifling laughter. Tom continued, "You can pay for the sandwich you just destroyed, or you can leave. Your choice." Karen's defiance crumbled. She fumbled for words, her phone still recording, now capturing her own humiliation. The crowd's phones were out too, and snippets of her meltdown were already hitting social media. She tried to argue, but Rosa stepped in again, holding up a receipt. "You also didn't pay for your iced latte," Rosa said, her voice dripping with satisfaction. "That's $5.50 extra." The room buzzed with stifled giggles. Karen, cornered, threw cash on the counter now for the sandwich, the latte, and, in her haste, an accidental $20 tip. She stormed out, leaving her sunglasses behind, which Mia quietly slipped into the lost and found. The shop slowly returned to normal. Javier comped a round of cookies for the customers who'd stayed through the chaos, and Rosa went back to her recipes, muttering about entitled Karens. But the story didn't end there. By evening, Karen's video had gone viral not for the reason she'd hoped. Clips of her tantrum, paired with Rosa's sharp comeback and Tom's calm takedown, racked up thousands of views. Comments poured in, praising the staff's patience and mocking Karen's over-the-top reaction. A local news outlet even picked up the story, dubbing it the Sandwich Showdown. Karen, meanwhile, tried to salvage her reputation. She posted a follow-up video, claiming she'd been disrespected and targeted. But the internet wasn't buying it. Her own footage showed her throwing the sandwich, and the time-stamped receipt Rosa shared online proved Karen's order had been correct all along. The backlash was swift. Her social media accounts went private, and rumors swirled that her employer, a local real estate firm, had called her in for a serious talk about her public behavior. The sandwich shop, on the other hand, saw a surge in customers, many leaving glowing reviews and extra tips for Mia. In the end, Karen's complaint cost her more than just a sandwich. She paid for her outburst in cash, pride, and reputation. Bread and butter thrived, with Rosa's new recipe, a spicy turkey avocado melt, becoming a local hit, dubbed the Karen Special, as a tongue-in-cheek nod to the day's chaos. The shop hung a small wooden sign by the counter, reading, "Taste with kindness." It was a quiet reminder of the power of humility and the cost of hubris. What do you think? Did Karen get what she deserved? Or was the shop too harsh? Share your thoughts.